titles, or any titles, quite frankly. But if I have to dish some out, I am a product manager for a software and data engineering team. When there's a whole lot of talk of big words and fancy terms, but there's no authenticity there. It's like, I'm not hearing your heart. I'm just hearing a whole lot of jargons. You're reciting to me your textbook conversation. I think that puts me off. But I'd rather say, I like to bring kingdom to corporate and corporate to community.
Like that. You know what I love, Mel? And probably we'll go back to the intro when we do this, but you are so many things in the best possible way. I sometimes look at you and I'm like, I don't know how Mel does what she does.
Me too.
But you do it all with grace. And like, you didn't even mention there, it's like you're a mom to teenage girls.
That's rough. It's good.
It's rough and it's good. You are one strong woman. And honestly, it's incredible to be your friend. So welcome. I'm excited that I get to ask you some questions. And I'm going to kick off with the untamed question, because that's probably my favorite one.
Which is what?
That is, what is the worst career advice you've ever gotten and considered?
Maybe a few things.
You got a lot of bad advice.
So maybe I often hear people saying, either directly or indirectly, that corporate is toxic.
Ooh, go there.
I do not think so. I think any place could be toxic. And I have seen some really beautiful versions of corporate and growth culture in corporate. So I do not diss corporate at all.
I love that.
And I think maybe another thing, and because why I don't like job titles, because I feel like it puts you in a box. People like you to stay in your lane. I don't like to stay in a lane. I like to play in corporate. I like to play in community. Wherever God leads, I want to be free to go.
Yeah. I love that though, because I do think, a lot of people say corporate is toxic, but I think people can be toxic, and that's what makes the environment like that. So maybe you've been in corporate for a while. How many years now? Yeah.
About 20, just under 20.
Okay, that's a long time. So I have a question around, work the last, let's say 20 years, let's say. What is one lesson you learned the hard way and you wouldn't want, for example, your daughters or somebody else coming through to learn that lesson the hard way?
Maybe I'd go on the angle of being an Indian female in corporate, because there's a certain perspective that Indian women are homemakers. They need to be really well educated, but really well educated and even stay at home kind of thing, right?
Okay.
I am not the cooking, cleaning. I like cleaning, but I'm not.
I don't.
I'm not that sort of domesticated at home. I think recently there was a lot going on in our family, in our lives, and I had the opportunity to study. And I'm like, it's really a rough season. Should I, shouldn't I? And I said, you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't want to give my daughters the impression that there's a ceiling you need to live under.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to have to trust that I won't catch all the balls that are in the air, and that's going to be okay.
Sure.
So I think a lesson that I'd like my daughters to learn, that it's okay to be imperfect, it's okay to fail, as long as you're failing forward. So
sure. And how do you navigate those moments where you're like, there are so many balls in the air and I just know I'm going to drop some? Like, how do you still hold, or how do you know which ones are the ones you should still hold?
I think once you let the first few fall and you realize, it's not the end of the world, you just start going faster and easier, and you know which ones to catch.
I was going to say, do you think you learn which ones can actually, that's actually not a biggie. It's like okay.
You figure out, is this life or death? If it's not, you get past it. And you learn, like, is it breaking? Is it building? Is it a 5-minute thing? Is it a 5-year thing? You know, so.
And being able to know the difference, right? Do you think that has come with experience though? That's just life and learning.
I think it does. I think life's experience teaches you when to go fast, when to go slow, when to just be still.
Sure.
So.
We were chatting the other day and you said something and you didn't even realize you said it. But it kind of shook me. We were out for dinner, celebrating with our advisors. You and I were both there. And a woman came in and you jumped up, you ran to her. You'd known her from MultiChoice. Hopefully I can say MultiChoice. Mm-hmm. And as we were leaving, you said, I owe my career to that woman. And it took me because I thought, that's probably one of the first time I've heard a woman, and I will say a woman in this context, but just say like, I owe everything in my career to that woman. And that thing of like taking others ahead of us. But how did that actually impact you? Have you ever thought about how deep that statement actually is?
Not really. I think I am very fortunate, and it just so happened that she is a woman that has opened many doors for me. But like I said, I don't believe that corporate is toxic. Because I've been in a space where even men are such great sponsors to women in leadership.
Wow.
People that I work with are very intentional about taking people forward, mentoring them, creating safe spaces. So the lady that I met, she is the one that opened doors for me. I've traveled into Africa frequently, implementing systems. But it was almost building a relationship of trust.
Like natural, organic.
It's an organic trust that, when people see you are faithful with little, then they entrust you with more. And even now, we're not working directly together, maybe for the last 7 years.
Wow.
But we still bounce career discussions, or I chat with her. But we don't just talk career.
Business, yeah.
She knows my family. I know hers. Like, her mom is sick right now. So it goes beyond staying in your lane. We talk everything.
So maybe just on that, what for you, because you're a big culture person, what for you is maybe a culture red flag that you've picked up that you're like, if you hear this or see this, it's like an immediate no for you? And like, how do you get involved in those instances?
I think culture red flag, when there's a whole lot of talk of big words and fancy terms, but there's no authenticity there. It's like, I'm not hearing your heart. I'm just hearing a whole lot of jargon, corporate jargon kind of thing. So when I can hear your heart come through, even at a more senior level, then it's like, oh, that's where I want to be. But if it's just you reciting to me your textbook conversation, I think that puts me off. Yeah.
Okay. And how have you, in your space maybe, navigated being a leader, pulling other people through, creating space for them? I think it's something you do naturally, but you're in a lot of different spaces, right? Like you were saying at the beginning, it's like you're in a lot of places at the same time, by some like means and way. But how do you actually make space to pull other people through? What's something you've maybe learned along the way that you've gone, this is something I've instilled as what I do?
I think I'm very intentional on pulling out your unique strength. And because I operate in a certain way, I do not expect you to operate in the same way. So it's like, what is the gift and talent that you bring to this party? And then making room for that and making you feel free to be yourself. And I think even with my teams at work, they're all different. And in fact, I work with a group that are like hard techies.
Yeah, you do. It's like a tech.
Hard techies, but their hearts are so big. Sure. And I could very easily put them in a box and say that, they are this type, they are engineers, and this is just purely how they operate. But it's creating those spaces where their unique gifts and talents can come to the front, and they can be who they can be. An introvert, they can be an extrovert, they can be spontaneous or a planner. It's just making room for the diversity.
Yeah, seeing beyond the box. Yeah. That's the thing. And you guys love to eat together, which is something for me that is so cool. Like you were saying the other night, if there isn't a meal prepared for that Friday afternoon, it's like, hey, what is going on? How has that shifted maybe relationships and things in the corporate space? It's like you're at MultiChoice, you're all eating together. What is it like?
Hey, did you know that you could join the conversation by joining our WhatsApp communities? No, we're not going to spam you. We might share a few gifts, but what we are going to do is build community together as women in business. So scan and join us today.
Yes, my team really does love food. We do coffees every day together, lunch every day together in little pockets. But if we go a month without the team all bringing food, all eating together, if it doesn't happen, they'll be like, what's happening? Why aren't we...
What's going on? Yeah.
Breaking bread together. But even from our chief level, they instill a culture of we must do life together, we must eat together. And in fact, eating together helps with productivity. It's a good thing.
I'm on board. You just mentioned food, I'm there.
So I also love the culture that we work in corporate. They could very easily expect, there should be a company-funded thing.
Yes.
My team does not wait for the company to fund things. They will fund things themselves. They will fund things. In fact, when we fund things ourselves, we invite other people.
Sure.
So we always make sure there's invitations. We open the circle and call people in.
But just on that, so talking around entitlement, how do you navigate that? Like, how do you get it right that people don't feel entitled? It's not like, well, this is my job, so if the company wants me to do it, how have you managed to get that right? Because I think entitlement can be something, you deal with. So how is it that it's not like that?
I'm going to give you an example that has sat with me for a while. We had a team building to Mozambique. That can sound really nice.
That does sound nice. Yeah, I wouldn't mind.
Team building to Mozambique, and the day that we were leaving, we gathered around the living area there, and we called all of the staff. And this is a corporate team building thing. We called all of the staff. And our chief in that scenario, it's like, hey, we just want to thank you. And it wasn't the company thanking them. It was each individual person gave of their words, gave of their finances, and just blessed the staff there. And it's like, hey, it's not because we're a company, the company must give. It's we are blessed.
Sure.
And I'm speaking with those terms, even in a corporate sense. It's like we are blessed and we are a blessing. So I really do think that's the mindset that our team has.
Which is really incredible, right? I don't think that's a given in every space, in every area, in corporate or outside of corporate even. I think even in smaller companies, like finding a space where it's like people will eat together, have coffee, whatever it is. I think we love food. We love, having coffee and things, but we have to be really intentional about it. Otherwise it will not happen. Like we get into work and we go.
I'll give you an example. So in our team, and because we like food, they often bring different things. Somebody will be walking down the aisle and be like, here, taste this. So it's like, it's not just
a set aside time.
People think about the other person. It's like, oh, I know you like this. Taste this.
That's cool. I love that.
I love them.
Yeah, I can tell though. And I think, I'm just thinking about maybe someone sitting in a space where maybe they're just starting out in business, like they've just started a business or they've just joined a company. What is something that you would say to them, like being this far down the line, right? You're at an exciting time of your career because I feel like there's so much ahead of you, but there's also a lot that's kind of been behind you. So maybe a twofolded thing is like, what would you encourage someone with where they feel like maybe they're not seeing the returns on their investment being time, energy, effort, everything, or it's not going as quick as they wanted to, or, in that space, what would you say to them?
So I do get a lot of graduates on my team that we've got to mentor. Sometimes it's painful, sometimes it's beautiful. But I think too often people just stepping into their career come in with, it's got to be perfect. And like perfection just bothers me because it just stifles progress. It's like, be okay to fail. You're gonna fail at some point in your life. Please do it quickly so we can get past it.
Yeah, like just carry on. Yeah, come on.
So get past perfection. Get past yourself. I think also don't be afraid to ask questions, and also network. It is so amazing what a good network can do.
It's not what you know, it's who you know.
So get past perfection, network, and don't be reluctant to get your hands dirty. I think people just want, this is my title, this is what I must do. It's like, just be okay with, there's some value to be learned from doing something that you did not expect. So be okay with that.
How have you overcome like the perfection thing? So being a perfectionist, or I know for me, it's like, I literally am at a place where it's like, we joke, we have a sticker, Kaylee and I, that's like, care less. Like you need to care less, because we want to have things that are like 100% or, 95%. But it is this thing of like wanting to, not even be perfect, but just like deliver well. And how have you overcome that? To say like, if I'm going to fail, I'm failing forward, and it's not such a big deal.
I think why I'm okay with imperfection, it's like, I did give my all. If it was not right, then it's not because I brought less. And then I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't be perfect for everybody, but I can bring my all to the table. And my all might look different on different days.
Interesting. So, no day is the same as the one before.
Yeah, so it's, I'd prefer you to try than to want to be perfect.
And not try at all.
Yeah.
And for you, what legacy do you want to leave?
For my daughters, smash all the ceilings you can and have fun while you're doing it.
And do you feel like you're smashing ceilings?
I'm very short.
That wasn't a height question, Mel.
Hey.
Or do you feel like they come up?
No. I prefer to see myself not living in that box. So maybe when you see yourself with the ceiling, and that could sound contradictory, but it's like I prefer to not see myself in the box so that I have the freedom to grow and expand any which way. So if you are finding yourself under a ceiling, get out of the box.
Sure. Just get out. If I'd asked you 10 years ago, is this where you thought you would be? When your girls were small?
10 years ago, this is where my husband thought I would be. Not where because 10 years ago, I was in a different company, in a smaller publishing company. And he would be like, you would just thrive in like a huge corporate. And I think I would thrive anywhere.
I love that confidence. You know what? I could just thrive anyway.
But definitely, I do think where I am now has exceeded where I thought I would be 10 years ago.
Wow.
So I'd prefer to not set, or I want to be here in 5 years' time, and it's not because of me. Like, it's not me. It's I think God has bigger plans for us than we have for ourselves.
So then how do you and your husband navigate, like in the last 10 years, how did you navigate like you growing in your career, him growing in his career? has it always been like the same?
So I think we've had seasons of fluctuation. If I am studying, but then I think I do study a lot anyway.
Yeah, we know you're not studying.
If I'm studying, it's intense. If it's intense, then Sean's more at the forefront with the girls. Or if I was traveling, then he would be there for the family. So I think we both have to give ourselves space. It's like, okay, it's a heavy season for you. I'll pick up more weight here, or vice versa. So we just have to navigate. I do think, in fact, one of the words of encouragement that I got maybe more than 15 years ago, my old director, he says, you have a support structure second to none.
Sure.
And I do. I have family, I have friends that are willing to carry the weight with me, so I don't have to carry it myself.
Wow.
So it's not just Sean and I juggling between each other. It's Sean, me, and this whole village, whether it's family, friends, church, community, even work. Even work people, they would readily pick up anything if I asked.
Which is so powerful, right? Just to think that it's often we'd say, okay, it's like you and your husband and your family. And it's like, no, it's actually so much bigger than that. The community is so much bigger than that. And even thinking like for us, it's like we wouldn't be able to do what we do without the people around us and without being people who are like, hey, can I help you? What do you need? Is there something? It's just like there is that power in community and being there for each other. And I do think it's not a given. And I think one of the things is it's also not easy to just like, okay, I'm going to build community. I'm going to just, it's like really hard work and it takes time and effort and up, down. We always say the good, the bad and the ugly. But what it produces and the gift of community, I'd say, is a beautiful thing. We wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for,
COVID.
So COVID, literally. We wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for COVID. But it's a beautiful thing. Thank you, Mel.
Thank you so much for having me.